as a business owner, I want more time, money, and freedom. Therefore, I need to become an investor in my business. So an investor in your business, you have the ability to either invest in permanent assets that have compounding interest impacts, meaning the dollar I spend today is worth more in the future. Or I have to advertise. That's the difference between inbound marketing, i.e. creating a magnet for consumers to find and connect with, or throwing arrows over a brick wall trying to nail someone in the head and then drag them back in. Advertising. So inbound marketing or creating a permanent asset, that's when you can create something that has a life shelf of forever. And the longer it exists, the more powerful it becomes. Advertising, and we need to separate those words because they're different kinds of investments. Advertising is when I'm taking my $1, throwing it out there and hoping I get $1.50 back. But when I stop spending that $1, I'm still where I started. So you guys, give me some examples of advertising where I'm burning and churning cash. There's no permanent asset. When I run out of money or the campaign is done, I'm right back where I started. What is traditional advertising?
Like direct mail.
Direct mail, absolutely. What else?
Radio.
Radio, absolutely. What else?
Door to door.
Door to door, yes.
Billboards.
Billboards.
Phone
yes.
calls.
When
Ads,
people
pop-ups.
when people put the thing on your front lawn.
Yes, signs.
TV advertisement.
TV, yes. What about pay-per-click? Google AdWords. Is that long-term, permanent, or short-term advertising?
It could be whatever you want, essentially.
What if I stop spending?
Well, then it's
Short
temporary.
So if I do a TV, is it temporary? TV commercial, temporary or permanent?
Temporary.
Temporary. What if I took that same TV commercial, I recorded it in a video like this, dropped it on YouTube? Now what is it?
Permanent.
Permanent. Why? What happens to the video a year from now?
Still there.
Still there, and it has more what?
More views.
More views. Absolutely.
And then engagement, hopefully.
Yes, ma'am. That's what Chris is talking about here are permanent assets. Your website, permanent asset you need to take care of. The longer it exists, the more powerful it is. Backlinks. That is getting other reputable website companies to talk about and link to your website. That's when Google says if CNN writes an article about you, you must be good. If the Amana puts a article on their website about a dealer, you must be good and relevant because Amana is a high-ranking website and it's industry specific. If you get written up in the local news, if you have a job posting, you post at your local college, and that job posting has a link back to your website where there's a job board and it's in the trades department. Now you have a reputable university that's linking back to your website. All of those things are showing Google that other reputable companies trust you. And that's SEO. That's
There's
what
a reason why it's called your domain. It's just not a technical word, but if you think a domain is in dominion or property, a lot of times they're called digital storefronts. A lot of times they're called, so think of it as real estate. Every applicable paradigm that you can apply to real estate applies to your digital assets. They're just not tangible.
So if I want a permanent asset, if I send a card, a thank you card out to our dealers, which we do, all of our dealers, they get a birthday cake and a card in their mail every time they have a birthday. It's just something we do. Is that permanent or is it temporary?
Permanent.
Permanent? What happens when you eat the cake, man?
Jen, look at this. I saw this on the Boss Entrepreneur, a list of income producing assets. And I thought it was pretty interesting. This guy never posts about, anything marketing or digital. It's just, one of the entrepreneurs that I follow, or actually is in the category of finance, by the way. And I was really interested to see website in this list of certificates, bonds, real estate investments, trusts, a website, a digital asset made its way to the top 15 of income producing assets. That was really tight.
Permanent.
Yep.
If I want to take, let's say I send a thank you for doing business with CI Web Group card. It's temporary. The second you guys eat the cake and put the card in the drawer or in the trash, it's gone, right? But if I create a video, or on that video, I get in front of a camera and say, hi, it's Jennifer from ABC Heating and Air Conditioning, and I just wanted to personally thank you for doing business with us. By the way, if you know someone who needs help with their heating and air conditioning needs, feel free to give us a referral. We greatly appreciate them. And oh, by the way, if you'll take just a minute, visit our Google business listing and drop us the love note, we greatly appreciate it. In a video, now what is it? Permanent or temporary?
Permanent.
Permanent.
Yes, that's the difference. Every time you feel yourself starting to say, are you advertising your business correctly? Like, pause for just a second and start delineating the difference between, are we investing in personal, or are we investing in permanent assets, i.e. inbound marketing that creates a permanent asset that creates compounding interest. The dollar I spend today is worth way more tomorrow, like my Microsoft account. There you go, Eric. Or am I going to a slot machine, dropping $100 in it, and hoping I walk away with $250? Advertising. There's a very big difference in between the two. And if you can separate yourself, so when they say, well, I'm going with Train because Train provides me with $10,000 in advertising. Yeah, Train gives you $10,000 in advertising on a pay-per-click campaign. You're going to run out of money before you get out of spring, buddy. And you're going to have nothing after that. You don't own the website they give you. You don't own any of the assets they give you. They will not cover any of your expenses for search engine optimization or any permanent assets. They will only pay for advertising. And we at Goodman don't believe in that. We believe in investing in the dealer, into assets that the dealer owns, that the dealer has the ability to continue to invest in, that creates permanent assets, improves the brand, improves the domain authority, the page authority, the strength of the business, makes them more visible to consumers in their local market for the services they want to sell in the cities they want to sell it. We don't believe in just burning through 10 grand of accrual funds in a pay-per-click ad or a giant mailer or a flashy billboard just because it makes you feel like you're doing advertising. The difference, the logic, when you know the difference and you're able to articulate that to the dealer, is you now will have the same presentation that we do. When CI Web Group says why we chose, because this was a mutual agreement, we chose which manufacturer we wanted to connect with. And every single interview we went on with all of these manufacturers that have their grandiose dealer advertising program that burn through cash, we didn't want to be a part of that because we care about the entrepreneur achieving their goal of building more time, money, and freedom. And the way they do that is not burning and turning through cash on billboards, radio, television, pay-per-click, door hangers, and everything else. The way we do that is by understanding the algorithm and figuring out how to get in front of smart, educated consumers who know how to do a search, know how to look for reviews. They avoid the scammy advertisements and they go for real companies on page one in the search.